Halls of Torment became a huge hit in less than 2 months after its release. This horde survivor roguelite, as the developers call it, has become an instant hit among streamers and players alike. It has an overwhelmingly positive rating with over 8,000 reviews on Steam, where it topped the trending chart. But why did this indie game become such a success, and how does it manage to grip everyone's attention and trend with its limited budget? In other words, why is Halls of Torment an instant hit? To answer the question, we have to go back. Maybe not so far back. The date is 2021, December 17. A solo developer's early access project is released on Steam called Vampire Survivors. The game is built on a very simple idea. Your character is surrounded by creatures, kill the creatures to get XP, level up and choose an ability or a passive trait, grow stronger and kill even more creatures. It's simple, very simple. Luca Poncle-Galante, the developer of the game, started the project during COVID to have fun and get better at game design. He states that he wanted the game to feel fun for himself, but nothing that would be too time-consuming. The players resonated with this sentiment as the game became a huge hit after its early access release. It reached a 77,000 peak player count in only 3 months. Vampire Survivors got countless of updates over the years, and it was fully released on October 22, 2022. It also got 2 DLCs since then, and it won multiple awards over the course of its run, including a BAFTA for game design. While it wasn't the first game of its kind, it definitely incorporated the best elements from its predecessors and became the pioneer of this new genre or subgenre of roguelite. When talking about the genre, there are still varying opinions. Horde Survivor, Reverse Bullet Hell, Bullet Heaven, Survivors like. Bullet Heaven describes the feel of the game the best, so for now, I'll be using that. But how did a solo developer achieve all this? 190,000 reviews on Steam, a BAFTA award, and people referencing it when looking for games of similar type. Halls of Torment is a bullet heaven inspired by 90s RPGs. Many people see it as a fusion between Diablo 1 and Vampire Survivors. While it is heavily influenced by the latter, it also added many new features and character progression ideas, which makes it a whole different experience. Halls of Torment Early Access was released on the 24th of May 2023, with its demo version, Halls of Torment Prelude, released in March of the same year. The game got picked up by content creators and is growing in popularity in the last 2 months. At the time of making this video, it has a peak player count of 26,000, but the developers already stated that they are working on new maps, items, and features which will likely take the game to even further heights. The gameplay loop of the game is immensely fun. Similar to Vampire Survivors, seeing character development almost instantly after entering the arena feels great and is a huge dopamine rush for players. Popular MOBAs like Dota or League of Legends have character progression which happens in a short time frame. In League, you enter the map at level 1, and in a 30-minute game you get stronger with every level and each item you buy, which apart from its competitive and strategic aspect, gives the game a huge amount of replayability. Most roguelikes are similar, and since in my opinion, bullet heaven games are a subgenre of roguelikes, it's not a surprise. Old Flash games and incremental games or idle games like Cookie Clicker are fundamentally the same. Click, get upgrades, get more resources, get more upgrades, get stronger, and the cycle goes on. It's satisfying. NGU is another example. It's crazy, simple, and plays on people's psyche because we like it when numbers go up. Another aspect of Halls of Torment's simplicity is its stat and item system. You get stats that are very well known and not too convoluted. Attack speed, attack damage, health points, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, etc. You can also gain permanent upgrades for your stats, which makes your subsequent runs even better. Items are one of the major differences Halls of Torment brought in. You are able to customize each class with items that are easy to understand. There are no multiple stats on gear, just simple passive skills. The unlocking of all these, the item vendor, the way how the well works, the potions, the achievements and the rewards, It's all introduced to you organically as you play, and all the systems are intuitive and easy enough to use that anyone can just pick it up and play without needing to look at guides and tier lists. The controls are very easy as well. You start the game like this, and in a few seconds you know what you have to do and how. The game doesn't require you to focus on using spells or pressing buttons. You can play it with videos or streams in the background. Spells are creative and easy to understand. Balance doesn't really matter because it's all about having fun and breaking the game. While you can become overpowered and beat anything, there are still some challenging enemies and bosses. Also, enemies' attacks are easy to recognize and visually easy to understand with indicators. Halls of Torment devs didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They went back, took good ideas and designs from old games and newer successful games, implemented them into their own ideas and made a quick-paced fun game for anyone. There are way too many games right now, so being able to play it for 30 minutes or for a few hours if you want is great. It gives you flexibility and you don't feel like it's a big investment. Pick it up, put it down, just have fun. Earlier I referenced Luca Galante saying that he didn't want to make a game that is too time-consuming. The gaming landscape has significantly transformed since the early 2000s. The demands of daily life have heavily impacted the gaming industry, leading to players having limited time for gaming due to multiple commitments. This shift has posed challenges for AAA games in capturing players' attention, with the rise of indie games and online multiplayer titles diversifying the industry. Additionally, the lengthy development cycles of AAA games can sometimes lead to a disconnect between player interests and trends, and the presence of more people in the development process can result in challenges such as communication issues and conflicting visions, resulting in games that feel outdated and flawed upon release. Indie games, on the other hand, are passion projects, created by small teams or even individual developers. With lower budgets, they often rely on early access to gather feedback and polish their ideas. They prioritize simple yet creative and fun gameplay mechanics that are easy to understand and engage with. Overall, the evolving gaming landscape reflects the changing availability of players' time and attention spans. While AAA games continue to be significant with their immersive experiences, indie games have emerged as a viable alternative in response. They offer shorter and more accessible experiences, catering to players seeking quick and enjoyable sessions that fit well with their limited available time. The process of discovering games has also evolved. Nowadays, players rely more on other players for recommendations and opinions, while gaming journalism is frowned upon by many gamers. When searching for a game, people often turn to forums and content creators' videos for information. On the topic of content creators, a bullet heaven game such as Halls of Torment is perfect for streamers. The game provides fast-paced and engaging gameplay that captivates viewers. It's approachable, requires no additional setup, and allows viewers to actively participate in decision-making. In contrast to longer AAA or MMO games, bullet heaven games don't require significant time investment from both the streamer and the audience, making them more accessible and replicable for viewers to experience. With all that said, why is Halls of Torment an instant hit? Halls of Torment goes back to the roots and evokes nostalgia in the mind of the players. It's not just impressive visually, but its systems are designed in a way where you don't find yourself having to go through any unnecessary and tedious hurdle you might find in other games. It doesn't require you to invest a lot of time and money. You can just pick it up and play whenever and however you want. It takes you back to a time where you opened up your favorite Flash game and played it for hours on end. It plays on the power fantasy of ARPGs and roguelikes alike, and who wouldn't want to be a broken character in a video game? The game is still in early access, and it's already filled with content, and with the devs talking about implementing many new things, it can become so much more. The reason why games like this become fan favorites so quickly isn't because players want simple games. It's because they want games filled with simple ideas. They want to enjoy the 30 minutes they spend on a game if that's all they have at the moment. Halls of Torment is not a game that wants you to spend thousands of hours on it. It doesn't require your full attention for weeks. All it wants is to entertain you while you slay the hordes of hell.